Cooking Up a Storm, sponsored by West Virginia Northern Community College Culinary Arts Program.
We're cooking up a storm at the Fat Apple. If you ever get a chance to be in Bridgeport, Ohio, right across the river, stone's throw from Wheeling, West Virginia, this is a must stop. This place is 20,000 feet of a kid in a candy store. I think that's the best way to describe it. There's an upstairs, there's a downstairs. There's everything from upstairs with kids riding ride along. Remember the old things you put the quarters in and they ride along? I'm not even sure what they're called, but they're upstairs. And you can build your own stuffed animals upstairs. Downstairs, chocolatiers, apples, caramel coated with everything, chocolate, you name it. And there's some of the biggest apples you've ever seen. Plus they have a bakery and there's ice cream. There's no shortage of sugar at this place. Candy, taffy, sugar, chocolate, you name it, you're gonna find it at the Fat Apple. But they're also really well known for their baked goods. Their pies go right off the shelf, and we're gonna take you behind the scenes in the kitchens of the Fat Apple to see how they make some of their pies. Okay, I'm with one of the owners, Dawn Rhodes of Fat Apple. Dawn, thanks for having me in this place. By the way, this is I feel like a kid in a candy store in your place here.
That's the way you're supposed to feel.
It's amazing. And I'm a grown man, about to turn 50 years old. But why Fat Apple?
Well,
what's the name, Fat Apple?
We started out doing apples as a sideline. You know, we had a wedding event center upstairs. We did all the weddings and everything. Any kind of occasion we would do food for. And then on holidays, we would pick up and just do a small amount of bakery things just to get us through a couple days. And we would also do fundraisers for schools. We just started out on a small scale and it just seemed to get larger and larger and larger. And some, said, well, we got to come up with a name. And we said, well, we're getting the biggest apples we can possibly get.
That's a large apple. I know you have a lot of stuff on this apple.
Yeah, there is a lot on there.
This is the s'mores one with chocolate, marshmallows, and graham crackers. There's caramel underneath, but that's a big apple.
That is a big apple, and it's very filling.
So I guess if you're wanting, so that was my first thought. Every time I hear your name, I hear Fat Apple, and I'm like, bakery and candy. Why Fat Apple?
Yeah.
But now this makes sense.
Because it is such a big apple, and that's. People like things big. The bigger the better, right?
Yeah, and you started with this, and then you went on. You started with this with the fundraisers. Then you had the weddings upstairs.
Well, we did weddings first.
Okay.
And then we're doing these as fundraisers, kind of sideline.
And then the pandemic hit.
Pandemic hit, shut us down completely on weddings, so we had to put the brakes on. So then we converted, instead of just doing part-time bakery and so forth, we did a full-scale bakery, and it's been going that way now for a few years, and it's been doing very well, and we're having a whole lot of fun with it.
Okay, so we're going to make here today. This is one of your specialties, right? Mm-hmm. This is your own recipe too,
this
right?
is my recipe from another recipe.
Okay.
So I took my recipe and I took the recipe and tweaked it and made it my own.
Okay.
This is what we're going to do. This is my Kentucky pie, and this is a twist on the Derby pie, which is made about once a year during Kentucky Derby season, and then everybody forgets about it for a whole year. When you see the ingredients that goes in here, you'll say, why in the world would anybody ever forget about this for a whole year?
Maybe they can only eat it once a year, or otherwise, they're going to start.
Hopefully they'll share and it won't be too bad. But it's very rich, very decadent dessert. I'm not sure why they actually call it a pie, because I call it a cross between a pecan pie and a chocolate chip cookie, on steroids.
Yeah.
And that's what we get here.
Okay.
But we make ours year round. I mean, I make them every week. We have Kentucky pies.
Kentucky pies.
In the cases.
Okay.
So
maybe we call it the triple crown pie.
Well, that's what I'm going to call it, because we've kicked it up quite a bit from the original recipe.
Yeah.
And so I think instead of just winning one award, this one will be a triple winner. So.
I think we need a bigger bowl, though. Could we get a bigger bowl over here? I mean, I've never seen a bowl this big. This is huge. This is bigger than my head.
We will pretty much fill this bowl when
Okay.
it's done here.
So how do we start this?
Well, we're going to start
bad
out.
boy?
I've got the ingredients
Okay.
lined up. We've got flour.
You got flour.
We've got sugar. I've got 24 eggs over here.
How much sugar do you have in there?
There's 12 cups of sugar in
12
here.
cups of
12
sugar,
cups of
okay.
sugar. I got 6 cups of butter in here
Okay.
waiting to go. 12 cups of pecans.
Yeah.
I have my secret ingredient, which
Secret
we're
ingredient.
not going to mention.
You're not even going to mention it.
Well, you might get a hint of it
Okay.
as the time goes on, but for now we're not going to mention it.
Okay.
I've got a half a cup of vanilla.
Okay.
And normally I would put salt in if I didn't have already salted pecans.
That has its own salt.
So
yeah.
they have their own salt.
Yeah.
So that's all the ingredients we need. Plus
I thought
we need
this
a
was
pie
beer.
shell.
You're telling me this is butter?
That's butter.
Oh,
If you
okay.
want to
I
take
thought-
a drink, you'll find out real quick. It's going to be a little more filling even than beer.
Yeah, it looked like a
but-
good beer there.
But it would be good with some shrimp if you're
Oh
doing
yeah,
one of
dip
your
the
shrimp
crab
deals.
legs in there. Yeah,
Yeah,
dip
crab
them
leg.
in.
Yeah, drawn butter.
Okay, so how many pies is it gonna make?
This is going to make 12 pies.
12 pies.
Yep, 12 good
So
pies.
for those of you at home, you just divide by 12.
Yep, that's exactly what you'll do. So normally we're going to start out and roll the pie crust out. I've
You
got
guys
a pie
make your
crust.
own crust and
Yeah, we
everything.
got a crust
and
and-
you rolled it out with this Cooking Up a Storm electric roller right here.
That is
Lightning
it.
struck this. In fact,
Lightning-
some of the girls back here said that electricity was involved in making this. This is kind of amazing.
Well, some of the girls back here are storytellers, so I can't vouch if that's true or not. But I'm going to.
I like it though.
It is true. We'll take the
It
story.
goes with a Cooking Up a Storm theme.
It
I
does,
love it. I
Cooking
need
Up
to-
a Storm, and we will have it for sale after this particular show if it goes to
Okay.
the theme enough.
Okay, I'll autograph it for you. How about that?
So anyhow, that's what the crust will
Okay,
look like.
simple crust.
Yeah, we can take our thing out here.
We don't need the apple anymore.
Yeah, okay, but I do
I'll just
need-
munch on that.
I do
Oh,
need
you do
the-
need
I need
this.
the pan.
Oh, okay.
That's what we put our crust in.
I'll put
So-
the apple back here.
So we'll take our crust and lay it in here
Okay.
and just get it
Knead it
down
by
in there.
hand.
Yep.
We
Cut
do
it
the
off.
excess.
Trim it off.
You use it for anything?
Yes, they do. They
I-
use it for quite a few different things, depending on what they need. But we make apple dumplings all the time. So go
My
ahead.
mother-in-law has a recipe. It's called pie dough rolls, and they take it. I'll have to give you the recipe.
Roly-polies?
Maybe that's what it's called.
What
But she
she-
calls it pie dough rolls, and
Okay.
my wife and her sister, they fight over these things, and they're just basically like cinnamon and sugar.
Cinnamon, sugar.
Yeah.
We also make them with. That's something we did at home growing up.
Yeah.
Why do you waste dough?
No,
You know,
exactly,
So you
yeah,
use it.
yeah.
And we would do it with cinnamon sugar, and we would also do them with jelly, just preserves
okay.
in the middle, and then bake them. My lands, you couldn't ask for a quicker, better filling
No,
snack.
I notice you're using your fingers, not a fork.
Well, you can use a fork. I mean, I have
Okay.
some of the girls here would prefer to use a fork and just find it easier. But yeah, I
Is
usually
that
use
called
it, 2
crimping?
fingers in it. Yep, that would be crimping the pie
See,
crust.
I'm not much of a baker. I'm more of a cook, so I let my wife bake. There's too much exact measurements with baking.
Yeah,
I like
yes,
to
there is. Yep.
improvise.
So this is what the crust will look like right
Uh-huh.
here, and we've already gone
Okay,
ahead
we got
and made some ready to
uh,
go.
Does that have to sit out for a while after you do that?
Nope, it's pretty much ready.
It's ready to
Yeah,
roll.
It's ready to roll.
So then we're going to
Move
create
this out
the
of way.
filling in this gigantic bowl.
Now we are going to create the filling.
What goes first?
First, we're going to put the flour. 6
Okay.
cups of flour.
I'm going to back away while you put
Yeah.
that flour in
you
there.
don't like a white shirt every now and
Well,
then?
you know, I do wear white shirts.
Oh, there you go. So we got 6 cups of flour.
Okay.
Now we're going to do 12 cups of sugar.
Hopefully my dentist isn't watching right here. Whew. That's a lot of sugar.
It's a lot of sweetness.
We got a dense sugar advisory going on in here.
Well, normally I don't hold it up that high.
That's the sweetest fog I've ever been through right there. I
But
can actually
I like
taste
for
it.
you to get a feeling of
Yeah.
what's in there.
Oh.
Next we have,
Next we stir it up with this giant spoon.
We can mix
Do you
that.
take this off the wall or?
yep, we got them hanging over there
Okay.
on the wall, that and the mixers, and
I think my mom
Okay.
used to beat me with one of these when I was younger.
well, that might answer a few questions. So we'll mix these two, bind them together a little bit so that they're
No
well mixed.
mixer, no big
No,
mixer. You
this
just
is all
hand
hand.
mixed.
It's old school, baby.
Yeah, I see.
So that's what we're going to do there. So we got them pretty well mixed. Like I say, if you were putting your salt in,
Uh-huh.
you would put it in at the same time as
You
you're
put all
putting
the
your
whites
dry
together.
ingredients in. Yep.
Yeah.
So now we got that pretty much ready to
Like,
go.
just like doing the laundry.
Yep. Then we got 24 eggs we're putting in here.
Boy,
Yep.
this is an expensive pie. The price of eggs are going up
well,
and everything,
that's
you know?
exactly right.
It's expensive.
So don't complain on what I charge you.
Okay.
So we got to get them. They don't have to be
So those are eggs, the whites and the yolks, all
whole eggs.
the whole thing,
Yep.
minus the shell. And the chicken, no chicken.
There is no chicken.
What did come first? What do you think, chicken or egg?
Well, there had to be a chicken before there could be an egg.
I think you're right.
At least that's the way I'm always taught.
And then, do we stir this more?
Yep, we stir this
If you
in.
want to put me to work, go
one
ahead.
step at a time. Well, there you go.
I could use my.
Go ahead and get some
I could
little
use my.
exercise.
Gotta work of muscles, you know. This is what you do. Get it all incorporated,
Yes,
or
you incorporate it all now. I do want you to realize we're on a
Yeah.
little bit of a time schedule.
okay,
here, so.
okay. Well, that's why I'd get out the big old electric mixer for on
No,
the time
you
schedule.
can't. Listen, these are made with
We got to get
love.
all this in here, right?
You got to get all that in
We
there.
got to get all that in there. Time is the. So how many like pies and do you bake in a day around here?
Oh, it just
Depends.
depends on the day.
What about Christmas time? That's got to be your busy season, right?
Christmas is busy. Valentine's is huge. For pies, I would say Christmas. Thanksgiving is probably the busiest of all. Thanksgiving and Mother's Day are very
You make
busy.
a pumpkin pie?
For pies. Pumpkin pies, we make so many of them, you get sick of looking at them.
Really?
Yeah, but everybody
What's
loves
your
a
favorite
pumpkin
pie? Is this your favorite pie?
It's one of them. I was always growing up, pecan pie was my favorite.
Oh, I like a pecan pie.
Yeah, there's not too many
They're
pies I
sweet.
don't like though. If we just get it a little deeper now, dig down over here where the white's showing, and let's see if we can't get some of that going.
If you want to take over,
I
feel
will
free.
take
Because
over.
I'm.
How long has it been since you've been in a gym?
Well, as you can tell, it's been a while.
Okay, here we go. So we got this pretty well ready to go.
Okay.
Now we're going to add your butter beer.
Butter beer. That looks like beer.
Let's just say butter.
It looks like Harry Potter. Doesn't he have a butter beer?
They do. It's a very good drink.
Yeah. Whew. That's this is a low calorie pie, huh?
Yes,
Yeah,
very,
not
very low calorie.
Yeah. You ever have any dentists come in here and just like try
I have a
to
lady.
turn you in or anything?
The lady that has the Nugget right across the street.
Yeah.
Her son is a big dentist. I think he's got like 6 practices up in Columbus.
Okay.
And she'll come on the weekends and buy the apples and take them to him. She said she gets yelled at from him every time she brings them. She says, "You know what? I don't care. They're my grandkids and I'm going to spoil them."
I just imagine like a dentist walking into this. I mean, this place is like sugar city in here. I mean, you got sugar everywhere. Candy, the chocolates, the apples.
Yeah, we use a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to get this incorporated a little
Look
bit.
at this.
Here. That was a mistake. You got me excited and I got going too fast.
Got to be careful. I thought you were.
But
I was impressed.
Well,
I didn't do that to your mixer,
no,
did I?
I did it.
Oh, you did it.
I got more over there, but
Yeah. Maybe
This'll
one of
work.
the sous chefs could hand us one. You need another one?
no, this will work.
Okay.
Or, yeah, he's bringing one.
The sous chef, just toss it on over. I'll catch it. There we go. There you go. One down.
One down, one to go.
I could have brought my boat, the Rhodes
Put the
on the
motor
boat.
in there?
Yeah, the motor boat. We could just stuck the motor boat in the back of this and just turned it on. And
I think we're getting pretty good there now.
so honestly, if you're making these, you don't use them. You use this all by hand.
This is by hand.
Why is that? I mean, you have electrical mixers
Yeah,
here, right?
There's
there's
mixers,
one there.
There's mixers. I got mixers.
Is
I
there
got
a
everywhere.
reasoning, or you just like to keep yourself in shape?
I just think I do a better job watching it as I'm doing it instead of letting
Okay.
the mixer do it. Now, some stuff when we make the batches of icing, we'll fill those things up. We'll make 4 or 5 batches of them every
Yeah.
couple days. So, in that time, then we go ahead and use the electric mixers.
Now you're gonna put your pecans.
Now, pecans, 12 cups of salted pecans. Here, the recipe calls for either pecans,
They're chopped, right?
chopped, yeah, I take them whole like they were there, missed a few, and chop them up in the processor. And then, like I said, if we were using
Dawn,
unsalted,
you're
we put the
nuts.
salt. I am nuts, and people go nuts over it. So
That's a
now
lot of
we
nuts
gotta
in
mix
there.
this.
Wow.
Are you starting to see the need for a large bowl?
Yeah. I'm thinking we may need a larger bowl.
No, we're going to be all right. So that's 12 cups of pecans added in there.
Okay.
Next.
Where's the dishwasher that fits this big bowl?
Right over there. And next we have 16 cups of mini semi-sweet chocolate chips.
Wow.
That's a lot of candy bars.
That is a lot of chocolate right there. Man, this is getting,
It's getting
more
heavier
dense
all the
and
time.
dense.
Yep.
I really need to go to the gym. They don't have these exercises at the gym.
Well, maybe we could talk to them and see if maybe we could be instructors for it.
I tell you have to go to the gym after a couple slices of this, huh?
No,
Nah.
this honestly, you'd be surprised. I think this
rich,
probably has
though.
like 12 calories per serving.
12. What are you doing? Paper thin?
Well, there you go.
12 calories. Am I doing okay or no?
Yeah, smack it on the side and
I was
knock
gonna
some
say
of that
you got
stuff
all
out of there.
get all those morsels out there.
Well, it just keeps you from being able to stir properly too. And lastly, we're going to put about a half a cup of vanilla in.
Vanilla extract.
Yep, vanilla extract, and that'll make it stir just a little bit easier too.
Just because we don't have enough sweetness in there.
Because, right.
Yeah. You ever think about putting maple syrup in just for fun?
No, but I do have several recipes that call for maple.
Yeah. You probably could put a little maple syrup
You
in there.
could. Now,
Now, secret ingredient.
for the secret.
Can I guess what it is?
Slightly fermented tea.
Woo! Just think bourbon barrel. Did I give away way too much there?
Oh, I don't know. It just depends
Bourbon
on.
barrel. Oh, I tell you, that really brings out the flavor.
That makes it a little more robust.
How much of that did you put in there?
I don't know.
You don't know. You just
I just dumped some in.
some for you, some for the pie, right?
As long as I'm still standing, it
Yeah.
wasn't too much.
Okay.
If I fall over in 30 seconds, that might have been a little bit of overkill.
This is the secret to your madness.
This is it.
So then you're going to take these. Do you want me to grab? Or you have one here. Do you want me to hold
I
it,
got
or
one, but you can,
want me to hold it, or
if you like.
how do you know? How do you know how much goes in here?
Oh, it's easy. You see that rim?
Yeah.
When it hits the rim. We're not skimpy, buddy.
No, I could see that.
So usually I take about one of these big scoops and maybe just a little more.
What would you pair this up? Do you put any whipped cream on this, or it's just as is?
You can, if I was going to do anything, probably warm it up in the microwave or serve it warm like it is, and then put a little bit of ice cream on the side.
A little French vanilla
French
ice cream.
vanilla, yep.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at. We'll do a few of them.
Want me to hold it, or does
Yeah,
that
go
help
ahead.
you?
Doesn't hurt me, so it helps me.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and put these on a tray.
Okay. You got that line with some parchment paper. Is
I
that
do
just
have
so
it lined with parchment
if
paper.
it starts sticking, or is that the reason why? If something overflows?
No, because I always got a nice clean surface.
Okay.
On apple pies, you better have parchment or you'll be scrubbing a pan for 3 days.
This is gonna fit here?
Yeah, we'll make them fit. They'll hang over there just a little bit, but there's not anything else in
Okay.
the
Now
oven.
what do you have the oven
Oven's
set
going
on?
to be on 350 degrees.
If you're doing one pie,
Same thing.
same thing, it
350.
doesn't matter?
350, no, 350 for about 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
And these are deep dish pies, so sometimes they take a little longer than 45
Okay.
minutes. But I like to make all deep dish.
Well, while that's cooking, we're gonna take a couple sips of the secret sauce, and we'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good.
I was the first in my family to go to college.
I was looking to switch careers.
I wanted the highest quality, but most affordable option for a degree.
No matter where you are in life,
West Virginia Northern Community College can make your dream of a college degree a reality. With over half of our students being first-generation college students and free tuition for many programs, Northern is the right choice for you.
I can go to college. West Virginia Northern Community College. You belong here.
Okay, Dawn, 45 minutes. Those are the longest 45 minutes of my life.
Well, it'll be worth the wait, I hope. I hope.
Everything's worth the wait.
So we've got a couple here ready.
Okay.
We put these in and they're ready to come out now. So we're gonna slice them up and let you get a sample.
Now you work with your wife here, right? How is that?
She comes in.
Okay. Well,
I work with her.
How
yes.
is that? You know what made me think of it? Because the Brad Paisley song "Waiting on a Woman." It reminded me of like you're waiting for a good thing.
Waiting for a good thing.
But how is
Well,
that?
I've already got my good thing.
Yeah, I know. How is that working with your spouse? I always wondered that.
Honestly, it's very fun.
Yeah.
I mean, especially here, we have a fun time. I have
Yeah.
my wife, my daughter, so we're all together. It's fun, and like any other relationship, I'm gonna yell, she's gonna yell. Something didn't happen, but the time you hit the door and ready to go home, it's all done and over. Or 5 minutes later, you walk out the door and come back in.
So you don't get sick of each other.
I don't get sick of each other.
Okay.
No, we don't get sick of each other.
Okay, great. Okay.
No.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
We've worked together our whole lives, really.
Yeah.
About 3 different businesses, and we've had some part of
I could say you have a
together.
sweet marriage. How many years?
47.
47.
We were married.
Wow.
We dated 5 years before that. So
Okay.
I'm gonna call it 52 years.
Okay.
But
Congratulations.
actual 47 years. And it was just last
Congratulations.
month.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been good. Couldn't ask for better.
It's been sweet.
It's been sweet. Now with that note, let's get on to a little sweetness
This
here.
is still a little warm.
Oh yeah, this is still warm.
This is probably the way you want to eat it. Now, if you don't have the luxury of getting it right out of the oven, you could just heat it up a little bit right at home.
Yeah, you can take these and put it in the microwave for 10 or 15 seconds.
That's it.
And you're good to go.
You're good to go.
That's
Just warm it up.
This is really still very soft.
So it's gonna be hard to cut. Always that first slice is hard to get
yeah.
out because I think we need to cut the crust
Yeah.
a little bit. You only have it was a butter knife?
No, it's a little paring knife.
Yeah.
I was going to use a butter knife. I said, no, I better not.
Always the first one's hard to get out. There you go. You did a good job.
Look at that chocolate.
That's beautiful. Wow.
Give her a whirl.
Well, I'll wait for you. We should have your wife in here. Is she hiding from the cameras?
I think she may be a little gun shy.
You could have her taste.
I would say bon appetit, but
bon appetit.
I guess that's as good as it gets.
Na zdrowie. I'm Polish. That's.
Can you pick up on the secret ingredient?
Little hint.
That's all it's supposed to be.
But if you, you couldn't eat a lot of this at once. This is
Cut
rich.
very small pieces.
This is very rich.
And as it sets, of course, it's going to get firmer and the flavors will marry together more.
But the texture, the gooiness of that chocolate inside with the crust, that is delicious.
We sell a whole bunch of them, and that's one of our most popular pies.
All year round, not even around Derby time.
All year round.
Don, you're doing a great job here. This is, I tell you what, you're in the area, Bridgeport, Ohio, right across the river from Wheeling.
Mm-hmm.
Come on down, Fat Apple. You will not be disappointed. And now I know why it's called the Fat Apple.
Now you know why it's the Fat Apple.
Yeah, and if I eat a couple slices of this, I might have a Fat Apple right here.
It might be the Fat Jeff.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you know what? This has been a real pleasure. I enjoyed having you guys come down here.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous in the beginning and so forth, doing it, but it's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you coming.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Check them out. And until next time, where's that electric thing? Oh, there it is over there. We're cooking up a storm. Or baking up a storm.
Baking up a storm.
Cooking Up a Storm, sponsored by West Virginia Northern Community College Culinary Arts Program.